Hey guys, welcome back to Cheap Bills. As you can hear by my voice, I'm super excited because I have something really exciting to share with you guys. On Cheap Bills, we are going to be doing DC stuff every Saturday, even though today's Friday. Oh god, this is gonna be so exciting because I love DC stuff, and my person who accompanies me loves it too, so this will be really exciting. So, let's continue on with the video. So, okay, we're gonna be looking at villains, and before we start, I want to let you know, spoiler alert, there will be a lot of villain stuff in this, okay? A lot. I mean, not villain stuff. Movie spoilers in this. I'll be talking about the movies it is in. So, I'll try to get through as many villains as I can, but I do not think that I will be able to get through every single one because there are a lot of Batman villains. So we'll be giving really cool tips on this channel every Saturday, every other day, probably gaming, or we'll be too busy, so I'm sorry we haven't uploaded in a long time, so that's why we are bringing you this new series. So, spoiler alert, a lot of movies are spoiled in this. Go watch them if you haven't, and then come back to watch it. So, for our first villain, Two-Face, right? If you guys have known what Batman is all about, you would know that Two-Face is a guy named Harvey Dent. Harvey Dent was a man who was really good, and in the police office they called him Two-Face. So it kind of made sense, but that's before he had two sides to his face. So he was in love with Rachel, Batman's lover. So he gave her a lot of, he gave her some, he just loved her a lot, and then Batman got kind of jealous of that because Rachel said, if he is Batman, she won't love him if he's Batman, but he has to be his normal Bruce Wayne self. So then, Harvey Dent seems like he's gonna be the new Batman because Batman is getting older, and as you can tell, you can't be crime fighting for a long time. That's just crazy. So he thinks that Harvey Dent can be the new face of this town. So he puts so he thinks Harvey Dent will do it. And then Joker in the Dark Knight hooks Rachel and Harvey in two separate apartment buildings to a bunch of atomic bombs and then puts gasoline all over the place so it'll catch on fire. So then they have a walkie-talkie so they can talk to each other. And it's really sad because they can talk to each other. And Harvey's like, oh, they're gonna come for you. They're gonna come for you. You're the girl. I'm the guy that they don't really like. And then she's like, I know, but I wish they wouldn't. And then they didn't. They actually chose Harvey because Batman knew that he would become the new Batman. So then he had to get so then he sent the police over to get Rachel. And Rachel unfortunately did not make it, so then he was scarred, but gasoline got on his face. One part of his face split down the middle, and then he basically died. I mean, he didn't die. Oh my god, what am I talking about? His part of his face lit on fire, so this side of his face, all of his skin's burned off. He has no eyelids. It's all just gross. You can check it out, but yourself by doing Two-Face images, and then look for the one from the Dark Knight, and you will see it. And the other part of his face is fine. So it's kind of weird, but this is a really awesome villain, but he did unfortunately die. So let's move on to the next villain. Sorry guys if I'm taking a long time, but like as I said, this will have to be split into multiple parts because there are so many villains I need to go over. Here's Bane, the only guy who could break Batman. So far, I've barely read any of his Batman's comic books. I've seen the Dark Knight trilogy, and then I've barely even started the comic book movies. So, the first one. So, I kind of am not very good with knowing my villains, but Bane, so far as I can tell, is the only one who broke Batman. Because as you can see, right there with his mask thing, that pumps steroids into his body, and steroids make you stronger. Search him up if you need to, but those make him crazy. He's crazy strong. He can lift up cars. He can throw them all over the place. Like, he is an insane villain. He's one of the best. He was the only one who broke Batman because Batman went straight on to fight him. Couldn't do it because he started throwing him all over the place. Batman tried, but since Bane was in the League of the Shadows, he was one of the members of the League of the Shadows. He learned to make darkness as his ally, and that's what Batman always did. That's how he always would jump up on villains and get them, because the darkness, he used it to camouflage himself into it. But Bane already knew, so then he threw him, broke Batman's back, and then took him to his prison. And then Batman then trained to climb up this wall that only one person had ever done in their life before. So it was really hard. So, Bane's basically just insane, one of the best villains ever. Next, Scarecrow. Oh, Bane, by the way, is from The Dark Knight Rises. So, Harvey, Two-Face, Dark Knight Rises. Scarecrow is from Batman Begins. First one. So, Scarecrow. His thing, you would think it's like a scarecrow from a garden. That's what you think of the definition. But if you are a true DC fan, you know what the term scarecrow means. It means the villain that used this special potion that he used on his mask, that whenever he put it on, it would make everyone's worst fears come to life through his mask, so it's kind of like an illusion. But it freaked everyone out. It freaked out all the superheroes that tried to stop him. And the real guy is Jonathan Crane. And Mr. Crane, he would fight for the people who were trying to go to prison. He would say, these people are too dangerous for this city. We need to put them in my asylum. Then he'd scare them, the people that he put in the asylum, with his mask. And then he would throw them in and say, this is why. You see, they're already going insane. And then he wouldn't tell them about his crazy scheme, and then he'd be pumping the scaring stuff into the water, and then he pumped the whole thing into the city, and so then he would scare everyone. And then Jonathan Crane, I have not heard of him, because in The Dark Knight Rises he was just the court guy, and then he said death or walk on the ice to somewhere else. So basically, yeah. That's basically what happened. But, next villain. Cowan. The one thing that I would kind of say is that she's not exactly a villain, because she's kind of a superhero. Because in the Batman Rises, her, what she says, she got Bruce Wayne's fingerprints. Bruce Wayne, the billionaire, a multi-millionaire. I don't know what he is, but he had so much money, and then he just wasted on stupid things. And so then she took his fingerprints, because she got him from the night that she tried to steal his pearls, his mother's pearls, and then she sold them for a huge ton of money, and then the person who got him took control of Bruce Wayne's money. So then Bruce Wayne was like, okay, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know what to do. So then he just became Batman again. So then basically Catwoman helped save the city. And then she helped save the city by, so she exploded these cars and was like, come on, let's go. We don't want to be here. And then he's like, no, I've got to save the city. And he's like, and she's like, no. What have these people done for you? All you've done for them for years and years is help them out with their silly little problems. And now you want to risk your life for the people that didn't do anything for you. For people who even hurt you in ways you can't even explain. And then he just said, I will protect this city. The city was my parents, and I will honor them by protecting this city. This is my city. So then he went off, and then she could have left and gone by herself, but she stayed. She helped. Batman almost died one time, but then she saved him. So she's technically a good guy. Technically that guy. Okay, next villain. Clayface. Okay, so Clayface. He is a villain. I don't know much about him, but I know that he's an alien from another planet that is in the comic books. And he tries to fight Batman, but what's so evil about him is, since he's clay, modeling clay, you can morph it into anything. He can morph into anything as long as it's in clay form. He can make rock iron fists and pound down. He's an awesome character. He's amazing. And he can just transform into anything. But once again, I don't know much about him, so I'm just going to say that. And that's all I know. So I will have to end this video here. I'm sorry, there's so many villains left. Put down in the comments down below if you liked this video and what more DC stuff. I will post other parts still today for you guys, because I don't need to do it next Saturday. That's too far away for me. So I will do all the parts tonight or a little bit tomorrow morning. I can't do all things at once. But like this video and subscribe if you like DC stuff. And I will post them every Saturday, except today. This was just a weird day, and I will let you know if there will be a change in plans. So I hope you enjoyed this DC, and the next parts will be coming soon. Hope you enjoyed this video, and goodbye!